Hey there, it is Saturday, July 26th, 2025. I am live on a Saturday night, 7 p.m. Central. My name is Patience with notesfrompatience.com, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And tonight, like I said, is July 26th, but it's also my 26th day of 31 days of holidays, and I have been posting and blogging about the holidays and my favorite things for the holidays. I love the fall, and it is July in Arkansas, and there is no fall weather unless you're up at 5 in the morning, and it still feels really, really hot. It was hot today, but not hot as it has been. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I am doing my Christmas craft along beginning tonight. And after this video is over, it will be on YouTube, and I'll post it on my blog with the picture of the card that we're going to do tonight. I did go ahead and post the blog tonight, or this morning, and I'm just going to go insert the video into it to explain how I made the card. I usually have measurements and instructions on my blog, but I withheld that because I'm doing a video tonight. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to turn you down to my tabletop, and I am not going to keep you long. My videos are to the point. I may recognize a couple of people online. I may not. Just depends on if I can bring it up over there on my other source. So let's get started. Let me turn you down to my desktop. Well, I said I was going to turn you down. There we go. Okay. This is my desktop, and it's messy, messy, messy. Here is the color PDF that I have sent to many of you that purchased the tutorial for my first Christmas craft along. I'm so excited to be able to do this. First of all, I just didn't think I would be able to get all this done, but I did. So here I am. And this is 12 pages of color photos and instructions on the next tonight and the next 5 nights until the 31st. And I will have completed my 31 days, but my craft along is from the 26th through the 31st at 7 o'clock every night. So you can still get this tutorial. There's instructions on this post. There's links and everything you need to know. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you how I made this beauty. I'm hoping you can see this. I'm looking at my source, and it's showing me a very big delay. Anyway, I used Secret C, and I used the Whisper White Craft ink. I also used the Stampin' Cut Emboss machine and my heat tool. So we're going to be a little busy, and I want to show you how I made this card. I'm going to show you how to emboss. I'm going to show you how to make these die cuts with this hybrid embossing folder. This embossing folder is called Jolly Holly, and it gives you a beautiful, beautiful embossed image like this. We'll make the embossed image first, and then I will show you how to use this large die cut with the embossing folder to make these cuts here. These, what are these? Holly. Of course, it's Jolly Holly, so this is Holly. Okay, well, let's get started, and I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and we may be a little shaky. I have not figured out how not to be shaky on this table, so bear with me. I've got my supplies here. I have a piece of Secret C that is 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm putting it into my embossing folder. Now, If you want to know the front or back of the embossing folder, Stampin' Up! Logo is on the front of your folder. And so you're going to need on your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, you're going to use plate number 1 and plate number 4. So this is number 1 and this is number 4. And here we're going to shake just a little bit. I'm so sorry. I'm going to try to hold the phone a little. Nope, I can't do that. Just making it shake even more. Here we go. All it takes is one pass through. And then you have a beautiful embossed layer. Now this card would be pretty even without the white craft ink. But I'm going to go ahead and do that white craft ink for you. I'm going to show you exactly how technical it was to get it done. Okay, so get you some a background that you're not worried about messing up. Now Whisper White, when you get this ink pad, it comes with a bottle of ink and a blank ink pad. Now I did not completely fill up this ink pad with ink. And you'll see exactly where I inked. I did not ink the whole thing. And I have not inked this in a year or two. So it's got plenty of ink in it, trust me. So what we're going to do is just hold our ink pad and lightly brush over in a downward stroke over our image. You see how the holly leaves just sort of come to life. So I am just continuing this. Now, I keep saying now. Okay, now, just go ahead and ink up all that you want to get done. I think this looks good for me. Now, it is kind of tacky. That's why I've got the heat tool ready. And the heat tool will dry it. Gets it nice and warm. And then we're going to set it aside. And I wanted to do this first to give it ample time to dry even with the heat tool. So let's go ahead and turn that heat tool on. And I'm just going to take it away from the screen. So I'm drying it. Okay, next what we're going to do is take a white and die cut our holly leaves. Okay, I think that's good enough. All right, now we're going to set that aside and let it continue to dry. So we're going to get our embossing folder out, and then we're going to get our die cut for the big holly leaves. Okay, that's a big folder. And on one side of the die, it's for the cut, okay? So you've got to figure out which side you're going to put it on, and I believe it is this side. May not be. I didn't want to mark it up. Okay, so maybe it's this side. But you've got to find the groove for it to sit in. And it will sit in a groove. Let's see. This is not it. Maybe I should have marked it up. Get this off screen here. I promise it's easy once you actually find its little niche. Right there it is. Okay. This is the front of the die, or front of your embossing folder. And this is the back side of your die. You're going to lay this into the grooves. There we go. It snapped in, and you can see I'm trying to move it, and it's not moving. Okay, then you're going to put your paper right on top. I used a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of paper. It's not getting everything, but we don't need everything. So I'm going to fold that up, and I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to run this back through my embossing machine. And then we got some beautiful cuts. So let me run that right quick as I shake my table to craziness. Here we go. All right. So that's the front. And here it is. some pieces will come off. Now these are attached, and if you want to, you could use this as a card front as is and put some color. But what I wanted to do was take my snips and go ahead and free some of these holly leaves up and use those. And there's some other holly leaves on here. There's plenty of them on here for you to use. But I love this emboss. It's a hybrid embossing folder. Okay, so there's one. Okay, and let's use this one. And then I do need to die cut one more thing. I need to die cut the label. And we, in the Jolly Holly bundle, you get, there are 2 labels in there. One's large, one's small, and I'm using the smaller one. Okay? I don't usually do a bunch of die cutting and stuff on screen, but that's okay. So for the next die cut, we're just going to need regular plates in there. I don't need everything. But you'll see on these die cuts that there's a die cut for the word joy. There's a die cut for the holly leaves and a palm frond, and then I think that's the bells. But we're going to take the smallest die for our sentiment. And I have another 4 by 5 1/4 piece of paper. Hey, Dina. And I'm going to cut out this die cut. So give me a second. I'll be right back. Got to shake the table a little bit. There we go. I didn't want to have any of this pre-done because I wanted to show you just when you have the right tools, it doesn't take very long to get your card together. Okay. Set that in the floor. And Cruz will not get it because Cruz has been put up just during my stamping. All right. So in your packet, you have a, this is thick Whisper White, and it's already cut to the dimensions. And then I will not be die cutting this because it comes in the bundle, and you could do that. If there's anything that did not come with this bundle, you would get it from me. Okay, Secret C, and we're going to stamp a sentiment on the inside of the card. And I've already got ink all over me. So Secret C, and I'm stamping, wishing you and yours the best. And then I'm also stamping these cute holly leaves in Secret C. And let me grab the envelope because I want to do my envelope flap at the same time. So let me go ahead and do that. We're going to stamp this holly leaf all along my envelope flap. That way, the receiver will know that it's a special card because you took time to do that kind of thing. And I'm also going to put one on the front. Now, I'm not going to color it in or anything, but you can stamp these in black and color them in. They'll look really, really nice. But I love the way the white, the Whisper White looks on the inside of that card. And I didn't want to stamp along the bottom. I wanted to mix it up a little bit. So I'm stamping just along the side. Going down. There we go. So this is the inside of our card. Now let's decorate the outside. Let's go, wait, I need to stamp one more thing. And that is the front, our sentiment piece. And the sentiment I'm stamping says bright and happy Christmas wishes. Oops, do y'all hear Cruz? I hear him now. He's probably hears me talking. Okay, so let me ink that one more time. Make sure I got enough ink. Bright and happy Christmas wishes. Okay, there we go. Now it is time to put our card together. And I love it. I love it. I love it when it comes together like this. Okay, so here's our card front. And here is our beautiful Secrecy with white. It almost looks like whitewash on that. And I'm just going to use regular Stampin' Seal to put it down. I'm not going to put dimensionals on this. Okay, oops. Here we go. And I cut it to where it would have 1/8 of an inch around the edges. Now, let's put this down. I'm not going to raise that up either. Just going to put it right in the middle of the card because I am going to pop up these holly leaves. So here we go. And to make sure that they stay popped up really well, I do put dimensionals, at least 3 on the leaves. Hello, I can't get the backs off. Here we go. All right, let's put that right there. And then the smaller one at the next bottom right corner. And then we will have card number 1 of our craft along. Now, if you purchase my craft along, you receive the PDF and supplies to make the 6 cards times 2. So you will actually get supplies to make 12 cards. Okay, so now we need some twine. I have the real red and white baker's twine. I'm going to make a pretty bow. You can make big and floppy or short, just however you want to make it. And then we need some dots. A roll of dots here. Mini glue dots. There we go. And I'm going to put that just right there. And the next thing is, did I bring them? Yes. Okay, you will have received the Charming Shimmer faceted dots to go with this. And if you notice, some of them are colored green and red to go with the Christmas theme. Or in this case, we're still going to use just the blue ones. We don't need to have green or red. And I'm looking for my Take Your Pick tool. It has jumped off my table. Okay, well, we will just use our scissors. I don't grab it and pop it off somewhere. Ah, all right. This is what happens when we're on live, Facebook Live. And I'm thinking tomorrow night, I need to have my camera a little closer. What do you think? Ooh, maybe so. Okay, one more. Let's do a big one. Get a hold of it. I will have my Take Your Pick tool tomorrow for sure. Okay, and there we are with our card. And now I have 2. And for me, that's perfect because now I have 2 Christmas cards to go in my stash for Christmas. Let me turn you back up to me, if I can. Hi. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments or questions, put them down in the comments. And like I said, I have links to my information in the description. And you can go over to notesfrompatience.com and check out the last 25 days of projects. And I hope that I have provided some inspiration for you. And I want to thank you to everyone who bought the tutorial and who bought the packet. You can still get the packet, you just don't get it in time to craft with me, but you can always watch the YouTube video and craft at your time. So anyway, thank you so much. My name is Patience, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Arkansas, and I would love to be your demonstrator. So thank you so much. Bye-bye.